What's up, guys? So I want to talk about the beginning after the end, book 8, the mirror room. All right, now this is one of my favorite parts of the story, just period. Like, there's just so many emotions, so much tension. Is chaotic. You got death. It's crazy. But I just gotta want to talk about this chapter, right? So when they first get into the mirror room, Ada immediately gets trapped. She touches the mirror because she's a dumbass and gets trapped, and then this etheric spirit demon invades her body and she's trapped in the mirror. And I'm just like, oh my God. So now they gotta try to rescue her and get out the room. Now, was really interesting. What I really liked was the emotional trauma that the brothers was going through, Ezra and Callan, and their mental state of their sister being trapped in the mirror. Now, right after she gets trapped in the mirror, they're listening to her sobbing and her crying, and they go pale faced and they're just distraught. Callan's eyes are bloodshot red, and so they're going through a lot of emotional trauma because their sister's trapped that they love and they care about, and ain't nothing they can do about it. And I'm just like, man, that's fucked up. I feel for him, right?
When I touch the mirror, I can hear Ada. She sounds so scared. Following his brother's lead, Callan pressed his palm against the mirror's surface. Immediately, Callan's expression darkened. He didn't have to say anything for me to know that he, too, could hear her cries.
But then, we don't stop there. Immediately after that happens, Ada's body is being possessed by the false Ada spirit, and she starts going after Rhea, who's passed out because her ankle got bitten off by the ghouls from the last zone, and she's over there by the fountain, and the false Ada is immediately going towards her. Now Arthur sees it, and I'm just like, okay, cool. Arthur's gonna come in and rescue. No, that doesn't even happen. Like, he goes and bumps into Callan because Callan's trying to go in there and stop him because he used burst step, and he falls out the window, or almost falls out the window. He's grabbing onto the ledge of the window, and I'm just like, there's no way that she's about to die, right? There's no way that she's about to die.
Rhea's face was pale, locked in an expression of fear and agony. Though her glassy eyes still stared up at the low ceiling, I knew they no longer saw. Rhea was dead.
Yes. Rhea is dead. That quick. I'm just like, wow. And so, Ezra, he's already pissed off at Arthur at this point. He already has hostility towards him because blaming him for all the stuff that happened. If he didn't go with them, then none of these things would have happened in the first place. And so he already has hostility towards him. And so he's yelling at Arthur. And Arthur's just kind of taking it, right? Arthur's taking it because he can empathize and he understands what he's going through. And so he's not gonna, for lack of a better term, put him in his place, because he feels sympathy towards him, and so he just takes it or whatever, right? Now he's able to figure out that the false Ada is only lying, that she only lies, right? So they're able to restrain her and do all that stuff, and I'm just like, okay, cool, she's down for now, right? And so here's Ezra again threatening Arthur, and saying that he wants to kill him and all this other stuff. And Arthur's just taking it. He's just taking it again, and he lets them know that he's gonna try to do whatever he can to get them out of here, right? So they're there, limited food, limited water. Your sister's trapped in a mirror. You don't know how you're gonna get her out, and so they're just mentally challenged, right? Now they talked about this a little bit earlier when they talked about the mental state of Ezra. Now, they said that when he did his exam, his test, that he had low mental acuity. And so I'm just like, below average mental acuity. And so I'm just like, okay, so yeah, because he's hot-headed, he's stubborn, he cares about his family a lot, but he's also naive and just stupid. He's just stupid, man. So Arthur lets him know that he empathizes with him, but he ain't no bitch. Now, what I also find interesting is that Ezra, he ends up going to the mirrors and listening to some of the panicked, mentally unstable ascenders that are in the mirrors, and pretty much you listen to their suffering and stuff, and I'm just saying to myself, like, his mental acuity is already low. He's not stable. He's not thinking straight. Probably shouldn't be letting him listen to other people suffering, and it didn't make any sense. Like, where the hell is Callan? Where's Callan? Callan, where he at? Because it's not good for him to be listening to these different ascenders just suffering and mentally unstable and losing their minds and stuff like that. Like, that's just crazy. It's gonna just make him lose his mind. So the fact that they just let him do that was kind of bad to begin with. So Arthur, he goes and he's trying to figure out the stuff with the Keystone, and they're still sitting there, trying to ration their food out and their water and stuff like that. So it's dwindling and going down. So now it's even more panic. You're even more of a crunch, because not only you might be staying there, you might just die there from starvation. So, it's kind of upping the tension. But like I said, Callan did a really good job of staying level-headed throughout this entire time. Like, he didn't lose his mind. He was still kind of like doing the right stuff and, focusing on trying to get them out of there and whatever he can do to just kind of keep calm. It was Ezra that was the one that was losing his fucking mind. Then we move on to Ezra. He wants to get one of the ascenders from inside the mirrors out, because he's been listening to him talking shit, manipulating him, giving all these promises and stuff, and saying that, he's gonna help them get out of there if only he takes Rhea's dead body, so that way he can go inside Rhea's body and use his ether arts to get them out of here. I'm just like, what in the hell? And then he's still angry, red-faced, losing his mind. And he gets in a conversation with his own brother about the plan, and he said he's gonna do this shit anyway. He don't care. I'm just like, okay, yeah, it's time to like tie him up. It's time to do something, because he's gone. He's gone at this point. But Arthur does this.
I can't accept your aggressive actions or your insubordinate attitude. Listen carefully, because I'm only saying this once. From this point forward, if you don't follow orders, if you attack me or anyone else in this group, if you try to pursue this senseless plan of yours against my wishes, I will kill you. I will, without hesitation, throw you into the void. And if your brother tries to stop me, I'll throw him in too. Understood?
Arthur does the supreme intimidation, saying that I'm gonna kill you, bruh. And if your brother tries to help, I'm gonna kill him too. And I thought that was just like such a dope ass moment, because it just showed like, okay, Arthur's a nice dude, but like it reached a breaking point where it's just like, okay, what's best for everybody is for you to know that you're gonna die if you do some stupid shit. And he let him know. And I knew it wasn't gonna be permanent, but hopefully it'll get him to keep himself in check for a while before, at least enough time before Arthur gets out of the Keystone. But things don't happen that way at all. This motherfucker goes and makes a whole explosion that Ezra is what I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Makes a whole explosion that shoots Regis out through one of the broken mirrors. Hadric goes flying. Callan goes flying. and he's rushing in, and he's trying to get Red's dead body so he can bring it to the mirror, so that way this Reacher guy can go and go inside the body. And so he's trying to do that. Meanwhile, the false Ada, her bindings are undone, and Callan's got to calm her down and get her in check. And so shit just starts going crazy. I'm just like, oh my God, what the hell is happening? And so he goes and he finally is able to get the Reacher out of the mirror, goes into Red's body, and lo and behold, he was bullshitting. He was lying the entire time. He grabs Ezra's hand, and skin boiling, and the motherfucker dies because he's dumb. So he's dead. And then you got Callan goes and he's fighting the Reacher, and the Reacher is not no pushover. So Callan can barely defend himself, right? And then Hadrian got to come in and help, and they're both trying to beat the Reacher up by them, with the two of them. Meanwhile, Arthur's in the Keystone. He's seeing all this shit happening. He can't get out of the Keystone, and so he has to finish the sphere that he's making. And all this shit is going down. And while they're fighting, the Reacher gets the better end of them, and they're trying to do some tag team maneuver, and the Reacher just knocks Callan out of the window, out of the mirror, into the void. Boom, he's done. Hadrian gets fucked up, and Arthur's like just got out of the Keystone, and he sees all this happening, but he's still like, confused and dazed about the new room that got created, and that's messing with his mind and stuff like that. And then so now Arthur has to fight him, and he ends up using the destruction rune, and then he has to try to shoot, ends up killing him, and then he has to shoot all the ether out into the void. And I'm just like, man, shit just went crazy. Shit just went really, really crazy. But here's some of the really good points that I had really liked during that whole sequence and when Arthur was in the Keystone, right? The fact that they showed him the past, the present, and the future, and you see all these different future variations of, or you see all these different variations of the future of his understanding of Aurora's Requiem, and how he literally use that to rewind time and make things back to their original form. Not only can he do it for inorganic objects, he can also do it for organic objects. He can heal wounds, reverse time on wounds. And so Arthur is already thinking, he sees the potential, the real potential of this God room, and he could bring his father back. He could literally break the whole story, bring everybody back, and not have it be any tension at all, because here comes, godly Arthur, who can come and rewind and reverse everything. Even if you get killed, bring your ass back to life. So there was no way that he was going to be able to get access to that, because that would just break the whole story. And so he only gets the ability to be able to rewind time or inorganic objects and bring them back to their original form. And I thought that made sense, because otherwise you're just gonna break the whole story. It ain't gonna be no tension. It ain't gonna be nothing. It's just God Arthur comes in, and nobody has to worry about dying anymore. But I think that the mental aspect of this happening is that he get his hopes up thinking that he can do all this great stuff, and then when he finally realizes that he can't do all that, and the only thing that he can reverse time on is the inorganic objects, it makes this whole devastating effect. Just like, he could have been so much better, he could have learned so much more, and yet he didn't. So it's like this sense of what could have been, and he can't. And so that fucks with him mentally, because he could have saved everybody, brought everybody back, and he can't. It just doesn't work that way. it was a really just messed up, man. I mean, they was able to save Ada, which is cool, but like the fact that she had to sit there and watch her siblings get killed right in front of her and ain't nothing she can do about it, and trapped in the mirror, man, it's just so that's just crazy. So I already knew, like, you know, there was gonna be consequences for this. You know, like, her story is not gonna be over and done with. And man, it was crazy. I didn't expect all of them to just die like that. Like, I thought that I didn't think they all would just die, man. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Rhea dies, Callan dies, and then Ezra gets killed. I really didn't expect it, but yeah, that whole section just had me on edge, and I think it played out really well, and it just lets you know, like, there's real consequences for going into the relictums and not being prepared, and you would die. You would die. But anyway, that's all I really got to say about it. I'm still rereading some of the book 8. I'm still rereading book 8, and I'll probably make some video about a different chapter again, or not a different chapter, but a different section of chapters. But let me know what you guys think, man. Like, what was your favorite part of that scene? Like, did you really like the moments where, you know, just the emotional, you know, disarray, and just it was just crazy, man. It was so crazy. Everything felt like it just happened so fast. But anyway, you guys, let me know what you think. Like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll check you guys out later. Peace out.